Okay, the reason why I wanted to do this review is because I looked at a lot of the different folding covers out there, and I looked at a lot of them, and a lot of them had different features that I didn't like. They looked like they might dent easily, and this particular model has the Line-X coating on the top, which makes it a little more rugged than some of the other options on the market. And it's a fairly new product. I think it's been out for maybe a year or so, and I haven't seen much in the way of reviews. There's a lot of reviews out there of very highly produced videos out there that show the installation and show the product, but don't really give a real world perspective of the things that you look at when you kind of have questions in your mind about when you're evaluating purchasing one of these things. So I kind of wanted to put out a video that answers a lot of the questions that I had in my mind when I was buying this. So today, I don't really intend to go through an install on the truck. You'll probably see some of that video, but more it's going to be, an unboxing so you can see how it comes. I ordered this from Amazon. It came. It was delivered by them in a couple of days, and it was leaning against my garage outside, and it came in this nice box. I was kind of worried about it getting here and being damaged. I've had undercover tonneau covers in the past, and they've arrived in various states of damage, with various states of damage on them. And this one came in really good condition. Amazon did a really good job of getting it here, and with very little damage to no damage on the box that I could see. So probably the best experience I've had with buying one of these so far. So let's get to it. I want to lay it down. I'm going to have my little cameraman come over here and help me with cutting these straps off and getting the box off.
Okay.
And we'll show you what's in the box and how it's packaged up, and we'll see, I guess, together if it has any damage on it. Come on down here, bud. Let's lay this thing down. Get on that side.
What?
I want to lay it down this way. Alright, and I have some covers. Cut these straps off. Here you go, cut that other side off, please.
Which side do I use again?
What?
Do I use this side or this side?
Doesn't matter, just cut it. There you go. Squeeze. Try again.
This one's split.
Go on, use the cutter again. There you go. There you go. Good job. All right, put those over there on the bench. All right, let's lift the top off and just set it right over here. Just the top. Just the top, not the bottom. The top. Lift both sides up.
I'm trying. It's kind of stuck.
Stuck?
Yeah.
All right, let's go over there and see what the problem is.
It's stuck.
No, it's taped. Okay.
Where's the one? Which one should I?
There we go. All right. So, just set it down right here.
Is this bubble wrap?
So, in the box. Looks like it's packaged really well.
With bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap, can you put that in the trash can for me?
Sure.
So it looks like we have the hardware kit, has the clamps, the hose, the manual, all that good stuff, everything you're going to need to put it on, the mounting hardware, and the cover. And it's packed with some really heavy duty bubble wrap. And it looks like this is not the Line-X side, I don't believe. No, this is the inside, which I think is the same finish as their normal, just flex version of this cover. Let's see. I'm kind of interested to see what the Line-X looks like, and if it looks like the Line-X that's in the truck. because I just recently I bought a new truck and wanted to see exactly how the Line-X looks.
It looks like it has a symbol.
So let's so there's some foam blocks. This thing's folded up really nice. It doesn't look like the, no, don't lift that up. Can you pull the bubble wrap back, please? Let's lay this down. I want you to grab it like this, down the bottom.
Yep.
Pick it up. Let's put it on top of the box here. Because I want to lay it out so the folks can see. Thank you. I want to lay it out a little bit so the folks can see how this is constructed.
Where's the symbol?
So, it's down there, bud.
Ah.
So this actually does look relatively like what's in the back of my truck, and we'll see that in a little bit. But yeah, that looks really good. These rubber gaskets, and it looks like it's creased a little bit. Hopefully that comes out. And it's a little bit deformed. I guess it's been in the box for a bit. And it's really cold out right now. Nighttime, it's getting down into it was actually 28, I think, this morning. And it's only in the 40s, maybe high 40s right now. So it's a bit cold out, and you know, as these heat up, you know, they tend to fix themselves. I've seen various I've seen some videos from Backflip where these things arrive with a lot of metal shavings, and there are a couple of metal shavings in here, not too much. I see just a smattering of them around, but I've seen some of the unboxings on YouTube where they open it up and it's like glitter inside. So anyway, I'm gonna fold this back up, get the rails out, and get this mounted on the back. Matter of fact, let's get those rails out because we haven't seen them yet. They are packed away in here. So
Rails.
put that back up. Yes. So fold this back over the other side. Get that other off here. So in the front of the box here,
Oh.
it looks like there are the rails. I have the 5'7" lay down, bud. I have the 5'7" box on my 2018 Dodge Ram classic body. It's not the new 2019. So this only has to be 5'7" inches long. I imagine if you have a bigger truck, you might end up with a box that's a little bit longer. So, well, already I can kind of see, and I'll make sure this is aimed in here. So you saw me just unbox this, and I can already see that the seal, let me get you off the stand here. I can already see, and I don't, you know, get out of the light button. Here that you can see the adhesive has come loose. It doesn't even really appear to be that tacky. That's an easy fix, you know, just pick it up. We'll have to put that back on there. It just seems like I guess it came off in shipping. But so far so good. I imagine, you know, as that gets better with heat, or gets heated up, that will stick much better. And I might get my heat gun out and heat that up and get it adhered, because it was probably manufactured here. I wonder if the box has a manufacture date on it, but it was probably manufactured and it probably hasn't had a chance to really heat up like it normally would in the sun. So I'm not too worried about that. But you can see these are the rails. They're very well packaged. Here's the downspouts. Now that feels like plastic. I thought they were going to be metal, but it feels like plastic to me. The rails are metal. Maybe it's just a coating on there. I think, yeah, the rails are metal. Downspout, that might be a plastic clipped-on piece. Yeah, I think it is. So the rail's metal, but this end cap is plastic, and that's a plastic barb on there. You know, not too worried about that. It's, you know, it's not intended to move around. But all right, we'll get this out of the box. We'll get it on the truck, and I'll go through some more of the things that, when I was making my purchase, I thought about. you know, when I was buying this cover and determining whether or not it was the right purchase for me. But we'll be back here in a bit. Okay, so I didn't intend on filming any of the install of this because there's plenty of videos out there on it. However, I'm coming across something that I didn't hear in any of the other install videos, and maybe it's pretty obvious, but I thought I would include something about it. Let me turn this around and I'll show you. So in other videos, they didn't really go over this clamping system. So the way I think this goes on here, and you can see there's a clamp. There's a clamp section here. It looks like just a little block in there with the word clamp on it. And there's I actually moved this, but it was lined right up with that. It wasn't real clear whether that's just a spacer or it's supposed to be there. I'm not sure if this is supposed to clamp onto it, but it looks to me, and by the way the instructions here go, it shows the clamping locations, and I can see what appear to be these same spacers or blocks there. I believe the way this is shaped, put on this white background so you can see it, that this pointed side digs in, or is supposed to get wrapped around that up into this groove. I don't know if you can see that or not. My screen keeps turning off. But there you go. So I think that groove is supposed to go up in here, up into this upper lip, and maybe that just keeps it from popping out. I'm not quite sure what the purpose of this piece is, but I'm guessing that it's supposed to wrap around that. So just a little caveat in the install that I didn't see covered anywhere else. I wasn't expecting to see that. So there it is, and we'll get back to the install, and we'll come back when I'm done. Thanks for helping me out. All right, let's see. Another thing I noticed while installing this is, so for the pivots for the strut, there are two screws. This is the water channel that water's going to run, I believe, down to here and go out the spout here at the bottom. There are screws that penetrate that channel, and I've seen on other videos, especially with the back products, that these are potential leak points, and I don't see any sealant on them. I imagine if there was, maybe if the sealant was on this side, if there is any. I'm not going to take it apart to find out, but these have been potential leak points on other ones. Now, I've seen them where there's just a drip coming out of there and it gets inside. These covers are not advertised as waterproof. It seems like some people think that they are, that they shouldn't get any water in their bed. And for the price that you pay for these things, you would think that they would be, but I don't have any unreal expectations of this being waterproof. This is a truck bed cover. It's not going to be completely sealed up and watertight, but I don't expect a massive amount of water inside. Maybe a little trickle is about all I would expect. Anything beyond that would be excessive. I've seen where they fold some of these panels up and water comes out of them. That's completely unacceptable to me. But a little bit of water in there in the bed, especially dripping down here, and just kind of running down, not a big deal. It's a truck. So anyway, back to the install. All right, so we're running into a little bit of a problem here.
Yep.
And I saw this in another video. Somebody had posted a solution to it, but essentially our tailgate's hitting. And you can see this is just too low. I think maybe the Dodge Ram tailgate might go up a little bit in the back. It's not just completely straight across, but it kind of bows up in the back a little bit, so it's wanting to force that up. Another YouTuber, and I don't know his name, maybe I'll link it in the description, but I think what he did to solve this problem is take a piece of plastic. Now I'm not real, I guess I'm not gonna say I'm not happy with it, but with my spray and bed liner here, and then I have these bed rail caps that came on the truck. The thickness of that, along with the bed liner, the cap, and then you've got the foam in here. This thing is just barely hanging on. I mean, it's just barely It's just not long enough to make it over top of that. So it's staying, it's clamped pretty tight, you know, and I think I'm on the verge of being over tightened with these clamps. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this clamp off of here, do what he did, put a piece of plastic or something that I can find. I'll cut it and put it under here, see if I can raise that up a bit, because it's just a hair, it needs to go up. Then I'll reclamp it back down. I may take this clamp, move it closer to the back, so I make sure I clamp it tight. But that's another just little problem I ran into during this install. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy. It is latching when I throw it down like that. It's working out pretty good. I do see some of the, I guess, rippling effect of the, you know, it's because it's cold and it's out of the box. But when I put these down, I can see this like ripple effect. But if I just take my finger and go like this, it goes away. So I don't know if that's going to be something that sticks around or if that, you know, eventually settles out and closes that way. I don't want to have to do that every single time I close this thing. That would be very annoying. See some of the, I got the that's another part of this install is the foam that they've, you know, have you install along the top of the box here in the back. They don't have a step in their instructions for that, but you know, I wiped it down with alcohol and stuck that to the bed and then put it on there. You can see it's kind of holding this up a little bit. I mean, it's not, there's no foam under there. It's just kind of sticking up. So hopefully that settles out like the middle and looks okay after it gets some heat on it. But let me figure this out, and we'll check back in after the install is done. No, these are not clamps.
These are crabs.
Okay. So all in all, it wasn't a bad install. You know, going up the side here, you can see, and everybody shows this. You know, this is where it was folded up in the box. It's cold out right now. It's going to take a while for that to settle up. Same thing with what's along the back of the box here. Again, it was pretty easy. The only complication I had with it was with this hitting the top of the bed. It just sits too low. I think there might be a slight curve in the bed. I'd have to take a straight edge and lay it across there and figure it out. But yeah, you know. Again, I used oh, so why is that locked? Let me get my key out here and open this up. Here we go. Hey, what are you doing in there? So anyway, as you can see, I installed a piece of plastic underneath that part of the rail to raise it up a bit. So now, and I actually need to put thicker pieces of plastic in there. Can you hop down for a second, bud?
Sure.
So I need to install a thicker piece of plastic in there because now I can close it, but you can see it's still hitting a little bit. It made it better. Watch your fingers. It made it better, but it's still, you can see it's still hitting and raising up a bit. So, and it's only hitting, it's hitting here in the middle. It's not really hitting on the sides at all. It's right here in the center. So get your face away from there. I don't want to slam your fingers or your hair or anything in there. But yeah, so I just got to find something around the house, cut it up, get it underneath those rails, and that will solve it. Or if I just want to have a really tight closing lid, I could just leave it alone. But yeah, all in all, it's a fairly easy install. I took my time with it. You know, had a little fun with the sun. But I'm popping up here in the back. I'm gonna fold it back, show you the operation of it. It's working like a charm, except you got to make sure that folds back. So you can obviously secure it this way if you want. I'm really, one of the things that I really did like that I saw, back up for a second, bud, is a lot of people complained about, and I don't know if it was this brand or the back brand, about these constantly falling out. It looks like they did address that issue. You can see here that these are very secure. I can, you know, I'm afraid I'm gonna break something trying to pull it out, but you know, they do come out, and I'm trying to film. Here, hold this, buddy. hold it right there. These do swing up and they do attach very easily. I'm very happy with this. I did not like the back brand that leans against the cab. I don't want anything touching the paint, but that is very secure. Let me get the other one up here too. It is very secure and takes 2 hands. Sorry about the. But with both of those in, I can, you know, it's I wouldn't want to go real far down the highway with that, but that ain't going nowhere. Any other caveats? I don't think so. I didn't install these yet. It did not come with zip ties to put around that to secure it. So I got some zip ties that I want to put in there. Where is my flashlight? There it is. So, and just in case you Ram owners want to know, there's the hole where you're going to just route this right down through, just like this. You can just feed it right down in there, and then just you know, put it on the barbed end. But that was pretty good. I really did. There's really not a lip under here for the clamps to hold on to. Like, they don't like secure, so it feels like they could fall off of there. So you got to make sure when you install it that you get it in this bottom notch, and that puts the biting part of it up higher in the bed to make sure that you get enough bite on the bed so it doesn't like fall down. And initially when I put these rails on, they were sort of tilted down a little bit, but as I tightened these clamps up, once I got them in the right position into this notch, that sort of straightened them out. When I clamped down and tightened on them, they rose up and seemed to work fine. I think that's about it. I'm satisfied, very happy. The finish on it is like I said, it's Linex, and it matches up pretty well with the truck, with the truck's bedliner. So can you stop dancing? I'll roll this back out again so we can get a comparison of what it looks like compared to what the dealer did. What? Can you not get in there? Anyway, so here you can see it matches up pretty well, I think, in my mind. Anyway, it's a little glossier on the bed than it is on here, so it's more of a matte finish on here, and the Linex dealer that put this on, it's a little more glossy. I don't know if they put the all I paid for was just the normal black bedliner. It seems shinier than ones I've had in the past, so I don't know if they put an extra coating or if the type of material they use has changed. But you know, it looks good. It's a pretty good match, and I like the way it looks. I think this will be pretty durable. It's going to be scratch resistant. I'm happy with it. It was a good purchase. It was right after, it was on the day after Black Friday. It was Saturday, and I purchased this for $929 on Amazon. It was a 10% off sale, which I've been watching it since I bought this truck, and that's the best price I had seen on it. So anyway, hope this helps anybody out there that wants to buy one of these one of these tonneau covers. I will be happy with it as long as these seals settle down, and I'd really like to see some sort of fix for the price. You know, Nathan, I'd like to see some sort of fix for this, because having to put a piece of plastic under here really is not for what you pay for these things. I shouldn't have to do that. So anyway, if you have any questions, you know, put them down in the comments, and I'll look and see if I can offer any help or answers. Thanks for watching, and we're out. Have fun with your kids when you're doing this. Made for a fun project for us. So you can see I got the old heat gun out. You know, I was done videoing, but I figured I would share this. But I got the heat gun out. You know, these, you know, are still the way they were when I installed them. You can see the gaps, the wrinkles and everything. I did this one probably for, you know, 3-4 minutes, and it's already settled down to the point where you know, it's almost right up against the bed. I'm sure, you know, in the sun, this definitely will settle out. But yeah, it only took a few minutes of hitting it with the heat gun. Let me go ahead and I'll just video this one and see how it goes. And I can demonstrate it. Just gonna keep it moving. I got it on the high setting, and I'm just keeping it moving. Nice. You know, I don't want to heat it up too fast. Don't want to burn anything. You can see it's already coming down to the bed. I mean, just like that. Just a little bit of heat, and she's good. So yeah, I have no doubt in my mind that the sun will settle this out, and it'll, you know, look normal again. Just from being packed up in the box for so long, it got misshapen. But yeah, and you can see just as I'm talking here, as bad as that looked when I first started messing with it, it is, you know, completely a little bit there with the bed. But I mean, it just hitting it with a little bit of heat, it's settling right out. This one too. Let's see if we can get this one to settle out. It's, you know, 45, you know, 48 degrees out today. You know, not super cold, but not warm either. You see that one's starting to settle out now too. I won't bore you with this footage, but I thought, you know, you just might want to see what you need to do to, if you don't like the way it looks and you want it to look decent right after you install it. If it's cold out, you might have to do this. Doesn't take that long, and it'll settle right out. See, that's almost down now. Get a nice even heat on it. That one's not settling out as fast, but you get the idea. You know, it's completely doable to just do it with a heat gun. So anyway, thanks for watching. Go back up over there. Let's see. So your body's like this tall, and then you have legs. Let's see me. Look at me. Huh?
It's about the end of the video.
I'm trying to get it to stop.